hybrid supercars, a very special breed of supercars. Well, first off, a little history. The first hybrid supercar was the 2010 918 Porsche Spyder, and man, was it special. It was a 800 plus mid-engine supercar that till this day is literally revered. As a matter of fact, it is Doug DeMuro's dream car. I think it was the first car he bought when he got a lot of money, and unfortunately it's also associated with Paul Walker's death, RIP. But the hybrid supercar originality, or first one to ever come out, was the 918 Spyder. And then we had the McLaren P1. Talk about some legendary cars. The McLaren P1 was actually very different from the 918 Spyder. It was the first real self-sufficient hybrid car, meaning that it self-regenerated its own power, where the 918 required you to plug it in. And the P1 is one of those really special cars that everyone literally adores and loves, and I don't even know if I'm using the word adores, but the P1 is amazing, close to 900 horsepower. And then you had the LaFerrari, but then around 2014 things started to change. BMW came out with the i8, which was a really cool car. It was a mid-engine car with a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine with one electric motor. And the cool thing about it, it was really one of the first, I wouldn't say supercar because it's not, but sports cars that had the hybrid system for performance, meaning that it wasn't like the Nissan Leaf or your Yaris. It was designed for performance, which was really cool. Unfortunately, the i8 did go through its issues and stuff like that, but it's really neat to see that first introduction of the first global sports car with the hybrid system. And then after that, we have our NSX. If you think about it, there hasn't been a ton of hybrid supercars, and that's what makes them special, because you got to think about all the work that it takes to make a combustion engine and electric motors and electronics to work in harmony. And that's why the NSX is literally one of those cars that real car enthusiasts love, and also engineers and anyone who could appreciate the magic behind a hybrid supercar. As a matter of fact, you don't have to take my word for it. Formula One uses hybrid cars, and we could technically call an F1 car an F1 car, way above a supercar, and they use a form of a hybrid system, which is cool. But the NSX is so special because not only is it performance orientated, it's also self-sufficient. It regenerates power with its braking system, but it is incredibly intelligent. And the great thing about the NSX is that it's almost 10 years old, and this thing is literally flawless, meaning that it kept that original NSX reputation of reliability. This car is super special because it is literally, and it was, ahead of its time. As a matter of fact, across all the brands now, all the cars you see are now hybrids, which is interesting because when you're a trendsetter and when you're different, people usually are not going to take you very seriously, or your reception is not going to be very good. But the funny thing is that Acura knew what direction everyone was going just with the first generation, and now that the NSX is almost 10 years old, it's so special to see that they had everything right. And let me tell you, so driving a supercar is very special. If you think about it, you would assume that the electric motors were interfere or jump in when you didn't want to. Driving this car is seamless. The acceleration and everything with the combustion engine is seamless. You could barely feel it, but in the same time, you automatically realize how fast the car is at all times. Entering a corner, exiting a corner, acceleration, deceleration, braking. Everything about this car is very special because where there's little flat spots or gaps in performance or drop off in power, the electric motors pick it up and actually give you a very unique experience.